My name is Joe Scholin. I'm a counselor out at American River College. I also teach a part-time class, self-defense. My background is I've got black belts in both Taekwondo and Aikido Jiu-Jitsu. I'm also a weaponless defense instructor. I'm certified as a women's self-defense instructor, men's self-defense instructor. I've been doing this now for about 10 years. And I think the main thing is just awareness and avoidance is 90% of self-defense. It's that last 10% sometimes that you want to at least have a choice. Hopefully you're never in a situation where you have to use self-defense, but ideally at least you've taken some classes or you've done some training so you know how to prepare yourself so you can survive, because everybody comes from a long list of survivors or they wouldn't be here, and we want to keep it that way. So ideally, hopefully you get some sort of training or attend a self-defense workshop so you're better prepared to keep yourself safe and others around you safe. And on yourself, there's three things you have to remember. You have to interrupt their vision, their breath, or their mobility to allow you enough time to escape. Again, this is if your life is threatened. There's a law in California, it's called Stand Your Ground, where you have the right to defend yourself if you feel your life is threatened. Okay? Once you're able to escape, you can't continue to hurt that person, but you do have the right. Okay? So, right? Basically, you're about arm's length away. Okay? Unless you're intimate with that person, you might be a little closer. But this is usually if you know somebody. If you don't know somebody, it's usually about 2 arms length away, like maybe it's the UPS driver or something, right? But also, if you look at this two arms length away, I can't kick him, right? Can he kick me? Okay. So you have to be aware of ranges where somebody could kick you, right? You get closer, somebody could grab you, hit you, and worse, if somebody gets too close, right? Now they can throw you to the ground or something, and you want to try to avoid that. So you have to be aware of ranges. So you know you can move, you have different areas that you can move out of. So if he was to just go slow, if he was to throw like a straight punch, this punch is coming towards me. Let's say it's coming towards my face. It's like an arrow. I just have to redirect it slightly, okay, to make sure it misses me, okay? It's not this big, his hand's not this big. So basically, I've got my hands up, or I've told this guy, hey, I don't want to fight or whatever. And now, in order to throw a rock, to throw a punch, this shoulder's got to move, right? He can't hit me if this shoulder doesn't move. So I'm watching him. I'm like, hey man, I want to fight. So if he throws a straight punch, I just have to make sure I'm out of the way of that punch, right? I don't want to stand here and he throws it. If I'm not fast enough, right, I'm going to get hit. So as he goes, that shoulder moves, I'm already moving. So he's at 12 o'clock, I'm at 6 o'clock. I want to get over here at 11 o'clock, right? Got my hands up. Okay, you can go a little faster. I just want to be here. From here, go ahead and try to throw a punch. He's going to cross his body, right? Really, what I want to do is I want to be in what they call a cautious stance, okay? So I'm kind of telling this person, hey, you need to kind of stay back or whatever, okay? Now if he comes back, comes a little farther, stay back, you need to stay back, okay? There's a couple reasons. If you notice my hands, they're like this. This is the universal language, right, to stay back. So, but also I'm verbally telling him, hopefully this person understands it and it stops their momentum. But more importantly, if there's people watching, I've got witnesses now, right? They said, hey, this guy didn't want to fight. He gave a warning to tell the person to stay back. A lot of times guys will start out by grabbing a hand, right? Okay? So what is your first reaction when somebody grabs your hand?
Try to pull away.
Yeah, so that's a normal reaction, okay? But what happens with that is as you try to pull away, go ahead. Who's stronger here? Now we're in a strength match, right? So I'm stronger and I weigh more, so I'm going to pull her towards me, potentially into a van or something else. And you definitely don't want to go to a second location, okay? But if I grab her hand, guess what? I've given up one of my weapons, right? Because I can't choke her or do something else because I'm holding on to her wrist, right? What does she have available to her? Hands. She's got feet. She could kick me, please, but she can kick me, right? She can use that to palm strike. We'll do a palm strike in a sec. Palm strike my nose. She could take her fingers right into my eyes. She could go into my throat. I mean, this is somebody trying to get you into a van to take you somewhere, right? And you're not coming back more than likely. So you have to have, again, that survivor mentality that you're not going to let that happen, okay? So another thing, too, is if you look, when I grab her here, this is the weakest part right here. If you grab your own hand like this, basically it's a situation where it's hard this way, but if you go here to the side, you'll see you can't hold because you're only holding with these two fingers. So if I'm holding her this way, where's she going to go? She's going to go out that way. So go ahead, just take it out. Okay? If I'm holding her this way, exactly. So just like you're combing your hair. Okay? So it's hard for me to hold with these two fingers. Okay? Again, now for some reason, so if I'm holding her like this, where's she going to go? Down, exactly. So ideally, you want to go down. Now for some reason, I just have this death grip. Again, she could kick me first, get my attention, right? Boom. Then pull down, okay? Or she has another hand, right? She could go ahead, grab her own hand, and now pull down, right? Guys, we like to punch, right? And hit things. The problem is this head is hard, right? You'll see boxers, they'll wrap their hands, put on a boxing glove, but there's no support here. They get called a boxer's fracture. Very easy to break right here. Well, if I hit him in the head, well, guess what? Now I just broke my hand. Now I'm fighting with one hand potentially. Ideally, if you're going to have to punch, a couple things. One, you don't want to punch like this because if I hit something, this wrist is going to break. If you're going to punch, you want to at least be like straight ahead. You have more support this way, and you want to try to punch soft areas. If you look at your palm, there's a bone right here. You can feel that when you hit something. So ideally, much better palm strikes, nose, chin, okay? Less chance of breaking your fingers. There's a very delicate, doesn't take a lot. This is a whole bone right in here. Palm strike covers, more area. What you do is whenever you strike something, ideally, it's just like throwing a rock. You don't want to just do this. Okay, that's better than nothing. But you want to put your, your hip into it. Just like if you were to throw a rock, it might go fairly far, but if I throw it, it's going to go always slow because I'm getting my shoulder and my hips into it. Same thing with a strike. You want to strike with your hip and your shoulder into something. A couple things too. You'll see this in karate. You'll see when they strike something, they'll say, "Kia!" or something. It's because a lot of times you're really tightened up when you're fearful, right? You're not breathing. And so it's hard to do something when you're all tense. So that's why you're getting that breath out. So ideally you want to say no, do something just so you can get that breath out. So as you strike, so you'll notice if you do it with a strike without a yell, and then the second time you yell no, you'll see you'll feel more powerful. So try it without it, just regular, and then say no.
Yeah.
Do you feel a little bit more
yeah,
like you're
more
power, right? Because you're getting more into it.